doing today? We're going to talk about in this video is a update to the HAS TS. It'll be coming out shortly. What we're going to do is offer a demo version of it to start off with, so you can give it a whirl and see how it works out for you. We'll explain more about that at the end of the video, how you can get it. What this requires is it's going to be the HAS multi-time frame trading system version 1. That'll be the basic TS, and two other indicators that go along with it are the HAS multi-time frame Anakin Ashy Smooth version 1 and the HAS multi-time frame bar version 1. Now the smooth version of the Anakin Ash is just there to be used by this bar indie. It is not placed on the chart. It just has to be in the indicator folder. The only ones that will be on the chart are the TS and the bar. Okay, so let's get these on the chart here once and see what they look like. Let's just open up a pair. And let's clean this up here first. Pretend we're starting fresh. I'll leave the fractals on there because they're kind of interesting when you're using the breakout line, so I'll leave those on there. Okay, so what I would normally do is start with a blank chart, put the fractals on there, and then I'll load my bar indie. And as you can see, the default is 2632, and we are using confirmed signal. And I'll show you what that means. You can either turn that on or turn it off. I'll show you here in a minute what that looks like. And I'll shrink this down a little bit. Confirmed means that, like when you get a switch in color like this here from red to blue, it does not signal a long trend until this first blue candle or this blue dot, which of course conforms to the candle up above here. So it waits for this candle to close, and then when this one opens, which would be on the second blue square here, is when it would be confirmed. Now you can set that to false if you want. What that does, it moves that back to the first blue candle. But when this is switching from, say, red to blue or blue to red, whichever way you're going, this first bar can change color as the price of that particular candle goes up and down. So just remember that if it's confirmed, it means it's closed. If it's not confirmed, it means it'll signal on this one here, and it could get you into a false trade. So just kind of remember that. Okay, so that's the bar chart. Now you notice it gives us three different time frames here. It gives us the 4-hour, the daily, and the weekly. That is because we are on the hourly. Our chart is on the hourly, so it always looks at the next upper three time frames. In this case, the H goes H4 and then D1 and week. Now if we change this to the 4-hour, you notice now they changed, because now the next one up from the 4-hour is the daily. So we'd be using the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. And of course, as you go up, you run out of time frames, of course. So you're going to end up with 2 monthlies here to weekly, because there isn't 3 time frames above the daily. And if we went up one more, you can see they would all turn to monthlies, because the only time frame above the weekly is the monthly. So Remember that if you go down to the 30, then you end up with the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily. So they correspond to whatever time frame you're on. So we'll put this on the 4 hour. That means we got the 3, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly as confirming hasses if we want to use them. Here we'll bring on the TS here so I can show you what I'm talking about. Now in this case, the hash that's going to be on here on your main chart is a 2632. Now that is the same that's down here at the present time. So if you want, you can have a different time frame period hash up here on your chart and a different one down here, although these all have to be, will all be the same. You can't use a different one for each one of these, but you can use a different one up here. And remember, this TS draws the hash up here for you, so you do not have to put a hash indicator on here, so don't do that. Okay, so we got the 2632, and at this time we got it set to use the hash color change, which means when this hash changes from red to blue or from blue to red is when you will get a signal. If you don't want to use the color change, you can use the direction, which means it will give you a signal whatever the color is at that time. It does not wait for the color to change. And in this case, we also got it set at true for confirmed, which means it's going to wait one candle. It's going to wait for that first candle after the color change to close to confirm that it really is a color change. And then we got to use the opposite hash if you want to use it as an exit. Now here are your trends. You got 1, 2, and 3, and they always start from the bottom here. This would be 1, this would be 2, and this would be 3. So you got your choice of which ones you want to use. So if you just only want to use, say, now trend 1, the daily one, to confirm this, you can set these other two to false. So it's up to you how you want to set these. And then we got the breakout line, same as in the old one, set to true. It's a buffer of 2, so as soon as the price exceeds the breakout line by 2 pips, it will trigger a trade. And also the alerts, just like before. Now in this version, if you set all of your hash up here to false, you can use it just as a breakout line indicator. Here, I'll show you this. What you can do with your hash turned off is just play the breakouts. So if it's going up, no matter what the color of this is or what these all do down here, if it breaks long, you're in the trade. If it breaks short, you can take a short trade. Doesn't matter what your hash is doing if you turn off the hash. So you can just trade your fractal breakouts, whichever direction it's going. So if this would suddenly reverse and go out the bottom, you could get into a short trade. Or if it goes out the top, you get a long trade, and it doesn't matter what your hash is doing. Okay, now see, you can see here the hash with that particular setting is showing us long on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. And you remember back in the settings we had them all set to true, so it requires all these to be blue. And in our case, we were using the cross. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a red dot right here. So in this case, it would have been a short signal here, on this particular candle, but because these are all blue, it would not take a short, even if it broke through the line, which it didn't anyway. But then we went back, we got a blue after the red, and it was confirmed when this candle opened. So when this candle opened, we got blue, which is confirmed down here, but we did not break through. Our line, which at that time would have been, that wouldn't even been over there. Well, let's see here once. It would have been back here. Okay, so this is where that long breakout line would have been. But it wouldn't have went because if our signal appeared over here, the previous candle has to be closed below our breakout line, which it wasn't. It closed above it. And so our signal would have had to happen back here. Now, if you weren't using the confirmed mode, then you would have probably got a signal back here. And this candle's closed below the line. This candle, this price went above the line, so by at least 2 pips. Let's see here once. Oh yeah, I had plenty there, so you would have entered along here if you weren't using the confirmed setting back here. Which is this here. If this would have been set to false, you would have got a trade here. But since this is set to true, we wouldn't have been able to enter a trade until we were over here. And since the previous candle was closed above the line, we would not have gotten in there. So it just depends on how you play it. And the indicators up here will tell you basically what you see down here. Like the 4 hour is the present one here. Then you got your daily, weekly, and monthly. And if we go up to the daily, you can see they follow. And there they finally came in. You gotta wait for a tick to come in. And in this case, let's see here once. If we were waiting for a confirmed cross, what would have happened over here? But we didn't break out on that one. We didn't break out to the next one. So it just depends on how you set this up. You may want to use the direction. If we switch to direction entry, let's turn off the color change and turn on direction. And we'll leave the confirmed alone. And as you can see, now we're green because we are direction and it is going up and they are all blue. Now in this case, we would have got in right over here when this broke out, because now we're using direction. And of course it's confirmed there because the previous one's blue and even the one before that's blue, so it's a confirmed one. And we are good down here on all 3 time frames. So that was a daily. Here's the hourly. If you're using the HAS up here for direction or for breakout or for color change, you would not have gotten in on this one because we're showing long down here. Now it depends on how many of these you want to use. If you want to use just the first one or the second one or the third one or 2 of them or 3 of them, whatever, depends on what you want to use down here. Now you can't change the time frame of these. They are always going to be the 3 above whatever time frame you're on. So in this case we're on the 1 hour, so they're going to be on the H4, the D1, and the W1. They always are the 3 next time frames above where you're at. Now in this case, we would not get in over here because we are not closed below the breakout line. And the blue here, even if we're doing direction like we are, if we were confirming, would not have happened over here. Now if we had the confirming turned off, then we probably would have got in over here, right there. So it depends on how you want to play it, but just remember these signals can change if they're not confirmed, if you don't wait for it to close. But if we had the confirming turned off up here on this, on the TS, down here they're all confirmed. See, the first one is blue, the second one's blue, confirming the first one. In that case we would have got in right there, and then it just depends on how you take your profit. All the way to the top is 59 pips. And like I said, if you got all the hasses turned off, you can use just these breakout lines now in this new version. So if this goes through here, like say now, this is pointing down. We got direction going down for the Hass that's on our 1 hour chart. But if we were using these, they're all telling us we're still in a long. So if we broke out to the short side right now, we would not take this trade because these are going the wrong way. But if we got these turned off and got the Hass turned off and just use the breakout lines, if we go through here by 2 pips, we would enter a short regardless of what this is or what this is, because we're just using the breakout lines. So we would go short. Now we can go down to the 30. Now here's a case where if you weren't using the Hass here and you weren't using any of these, you're just using the breakout lines, you would have gotten into a short trade right here. Because we were ignoring this Hass and we were ignoring these Hasses, we were just looking for breakouts of our breakout lines. So we would have got in a short here. And let's see where else. Probably over here we would have got in. No, yeah, because we would have had a line from this fractal coming across, and we would have broke it probably on this candle. And since we would have been ignoring all this other stuff, we would have got in for a short back here. And it did go down to only 14 pips. But remember, we're on a 30-minute chart. So I kind of like to play the higher time frames myself. So you got different choices here. So you can use Hass up here with direction or cross. Down here it's strictly direction. You can't change this to a cross, a color change. The only thing you can change down here is the setting of it, or if you want it to be confirmed or not. That's the only thing you can change down here. Up here you can set this at a different setting from these. Remember, these are all going to be the same. This one here you can set the same as these down here, or you can set it different, and you can use the direction, or you can use the cross, or you can turn off all the Hasses here, turn off the Hasses down here, and use just the breakout lines if you just want to maybe do some scalping for some quick in and outs. Okay, so if you're interested, drop me an email, request MTF, and I will send you the demo version. And remember, I do require some feedback on it. And it does require that you have the dashboard. So if you have purchased the dashboard, it should work just fine. If you don't have the dashboard, you can sit and look at it, but it's not going to do you much good. So let me know if you want it, and when I receive your request by email, I will ship it out to you, those 3 indies. So send it to seller9@yahoo.com and we will ship it out to you. So I think that about covers it. The rest of the stuff over here, I believe you should know from the previous HAS if you've used it. They're all the same as what they were. So let's see what happens.